Just the right amount of fat, just the right amount of salt, and just the right amount of sugar is the Bliss Point. Have you ever heard of the Bliss Point? Well, I'm John Laspina. I'm your carnivore teacher here on YouTube, and I'm going to talk about Bliss Point from my layman's understanding of it. Big corporations like Kellogg and Coca-Cola and Nestle and Mondelez and all those big, enormous conglomerates, multi-billion-dollar conglomerates, have hired scientists and researchers and strategists to find that point that when we eat a certain food, we reach that point in our head, and it's called the bliss point. We eat, say, a Dorito. We crunch it, we taste it, the saliva starts to, the enzymes start breaking down the fat, the other enzymes start breaking down the sugar. We taste the salt, the creaminess. It's just the right amount of fat to give it a creamy texture, and just the right amount of salt, not too much and not too little, because we like salt, but not too much, and just the right amount of sugar to ding, 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 to hit all the bells and whistles in our brain. All the dopamine gets released. It's like a drug. And they know exactly how to do it. Be aware that it's being done to you. Think about it now. Research it yourself. Go onto Google and just type in, or go into ChatGPT and type in, what is the Bliss Point? And read all the studies and the information about how they manipulate the snack foods that we buy in the grocery store so that we can't just eat one or two or three. We end up eating the whole bag, and then when it's time to go shopping, we grab for that bag again and again and again. And the company makes money, obviously, and you get fat and sick. Bliss Point. Just the right amount of salt, just the right amount of sugar, sweetness, and just the right amount of fat for creaminess. And there's so many products that they've researched and artificially manipulated to reach that bliss point in your head. Dopamine hit, ding, ding, ding. It's like a drug. It is. Addiction, ladies and gentlemen. The bliss point hits that sweet spot of addiction. And we want more. And you know how you fight that? With knowledge. Knowledge is the power that you need to fight the bliss point. If you don't put those foods in your mouth, you won't be manipulated by their bliss point ingredients, and you won't have those dopamine releases. You want food that tastes good, but not so amazingly well with monosodium glutamate and all those bliss point ingredients that you're addicted to it like crack cocaine, like nicotine, like all the addictive drugs out there. That's what these snack foods are doing, and we don't understand the magnitude because it's not talked about. And they're advertised everywhere. Everywhere. Super Bowl games. It's part of our everyday life everywhere around the world. And so we don't think it's bad for us. We may think, oh, it's snack food, it's junk food, I shouldn't eat too much of this, but I can have a little bit, it's my birthday, it's a holiday. Don't eat any of it. Stay away from that stuff and stick with beef. Have some beef jerky that you make or buy, like Chomps. I'm not pushing their product. It's just the only brand I know about that's the cleanest possible beef jerkies. You can make bacon ahead of time. I mean, I was just at this conference down in Austin, Texas, and the hotel in which I stayed, they had this amazing spread of a breakfast. I went up to the lady who was out there cooking people's eggs, and I said, what oil do you use to make this food? And she actually pulled the container out and showed me, and I looked at the ingredients, and it's soybean oil. Looked like a butter mixture, right? But it was all soy. It was probably a margarine soybean mix. So I said, do you make all those scrambled eggs over there at that buffet in this? She said, yes. Do you make the eggs for people that come to order? Yes. Do you have butter? No, we don't have butter. So there was this big container of cooked bacon over there. So I said, do you drop the bacon in a vat to fry it? And she said, no, I make the bacon myself. I put the raw bacon in the oven in a pan. There's no oil added. We don't put that oil. And the bacon is just the bacon. I said, thank you. And I went over with a big giant paper towel napkin and I put a big clump of bacon on there and wrapped it up and took it up to my hotel room. Yes, that's delicious. Yes, that gives me dopamine hits, but it's bacon. It's all natural. It comes from a pig. And they added some stuff in there, but it's not sugar. It's not seed oil. It's not starch and carbohydrates. It's pork, and it's delicious. So there are great things we can have on this diet that do stimulate happiness. But if I eat too much of that bacon, leptin goes to my brain saying, I don't really want any more. As good as it tastes, it's not tasting so good anymore. I just had about a pound of bacon. I better stop. That doesn't happen with a Dorito. You can eat 3 bags and you want more. Same thing with ice cream. All these hyper-palatable Bliss Point products were engineered, paid for by the big conglomerates to addict the consumer. Knowledge is power. I end my rant asking you to click the thumbs up and share this out to your favorite social media site. Help me spread the word about good food and good nutrition, because when we eat well, we look and feel well, and then we become the optimized versions of ourselves. Have a great day.